What's the difference between a heat rock and a basking rock? Let's talk about it. You've probably heard of heat rocks before. After all, they're notorious. At first glance, the idea of an artificial rock-like terrarium ornament that produces heat for a reptile to enjoy is pretty enticing. Reptiles like to bask on warm rocks, right? Yet anyone experienced with reptiles will tell you not to buy one and to throw it away if you have one. Here's why. Electric heat rocks work differently from a rock that has been warmed by the sun, or a heat lamp. Heat rocks are warmed from the inside via an electric coil, providing continuous heat that never diminishes. Meanwhile, a basking rock has been warmed from the outside by an external source such as the sun or a heat lamp. Given enough time, the rock can store the heat that it has received, and when the heat source is removed, it radiates this warmth until it's cooled back down to air temperature. When a reptile sits on a basking rock, its body essentially steals that warmth from the rock. But when a reptile sits on an electric heat rock, the rock underneath never cools down. It just provides more and more heat. In a best case scenario, the reptile's body will be warm enough that it will recognize when it has accumulated enough heat from the heat rock and jump off before a burn can happen. But in many cases, the reptile's body is too cold for its circulatory system to properly process and redistribute the heat that it's receiving from the device, such as first thing in the morning or when the enclosure's air temperature is too cool. When this happens, the reptile starts to get burned from all of the heat accumulating in the contact area. This does hurt, but if the reptile's core temperature is still too low, its brain will tell it to stay on the heat rock until the minimum optimum body temperature is reached. And that's how reptiles can end up with severe burns from heat rocks when they're used as the primary source of heat in the enclosure. This is why heat mats can also be dangerous, by the way. For more information, see my video on heat lamps versus heat mats. Heat rocks are sold under many names: rock heater, heat wave rock, radiating rock, etc. But what they all have in common is that they are not a good way to provide heat to a reptile. Even the ones advertised as having an integrated thermostat can still be dangerous. Heat lamps are much safer and provide higher quality heat to energize your reptile. I did a video on that too, by the way. So for more professional reptile care advice, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a heart for the algorithm.